Hey everyone, welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight we are talking History 6, Episode 2. My name is Esther. On the table for tonight, we've got Coddler's sex drive, we've got Bear's sperm count, and we've got Buddha's mysterious limp. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
What's going on?
Oh, here it is. Oh,
there
my
it
goodness.
is. I was waiting for it.
Ooh, exciting. Oh, yeah. What's it good for, Sally? Oh, yeah.
It's perfect. It's
Welcome,
perfect.
everyone, to History 6 After Show live here on AFTERBUZZ TV. You know, that song just brings me back to Rush Hour. Remember
Listen,
Rush Hour? With Chris Tucker? Jackie
It's
Chan?
epic. No, but I needed this song because it puts me in the mood to what this episode
Yeah.
did for me.
It puts me in the mood to eat Chinese food in downtown LA, in
yeah.
Chinatown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it puts me in the mood for. Anyways, welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us. We have a lot on the table
Yes,
tonight.
yes.
You know, this episode of 6 was very interesting.
Yeah.
Lots of information at first.
A lot.
Crammed down our throats into our bellies to consume
Done.
and digest.
Well, before we get into it, let's let the people know who we are.
Yeah, hey, my name is Daniel Lindgren. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Dan Lindgren. I'm gonna throw it over to my co-host.
Hey, y'all. Franceli Chapman here, and you can buzz me on all things social media at Selly Hangout. Hang out with me.
Oh my goodness, I want to hang out with you now. This is
Yeah,
fantastic.
you are hanging out with me.
Oh, thank
Don't
goodness.
you just love me?
I'm getting to know you first.
Yeah, but
I
that's what I'm
like you
saying.
right now. Love is a mysterious beast.
You gotta love me. To know me is to love me.
Oh
That's
my
it.
goodness. You have a boyfriend?
No.
We'll talk about this after. Anyways, yeah, here we go. Talk about the recap. You had an
Yes.
interesting about the recap
Oh,
before
my
the show even
goodness.
started.
Oh my goodness. I was like, the recap is like the whole episode. It was just really, really long. I was
It was
like,
long.
Okay, well, you know, here's the episode.
I'm
all
gonna
over again.
give him a break because it was the pilot episode.
Yes.
And they really wanted to make sure we knew.
You remembered.
There was so much happening in that pilot episode. They wanted to make sure we knew what was going on.
I mean, it makes sense. I get it because the show can be a little confusing. It's like there's so much getting thrown at you all at once that like I have to even nudge you sometimes and be like, what's his
my
name?
goodness, yeah.
Who's connected to who? What?
Right,
What's
right, right.
what? I don't know if anybody else out there is feeling the same way, but I have those moments while I'm watching where I
Right.
feel super confused.
So the first big thing they talk about is the mission that they have to do. They have to go get this guy named Ibo Burhari or something.
Right.
He's going to get them to rip. If they get
Right.
this one dude,
Right.
out of everybody in the world, this one dude's like, yeah, well, it'll get him to rip. So they go on this mission, and how did you feel about that?
You know, it's sort of like Mission Impossible, it seems as though. Because it's like all the chiefs in terms of like, you know, Bear is obviously the head dude in charge.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you know, Buddha's trying to train Chase, but Bear don't want Chase calling the shot. And it's just like all ego and chest
Yeah,
and man stuff.
the writers are really cramming down our throats that
Right.
that Bear and Rip have this like brotherhood
Yeah.
thicker than anybody
They're
else's brotherhood's blood. It's
super
very
macho.
interesting, and they keep bringing it up. It's like
Right.
we get it.
Yes.
I understand that they're the closest ones out of the group.
Right.
Because he doesn't want to leave. He wants Ebo to give the name.
Exactly.
When they've captured him, right?
Which is like holding up the team. Like, come
Right.
on, bro. Like, let's get out of here. And he keeps saying it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go. He's like, no, he's going to talk right here, right now.
Yeah.
You're on a ship full of people that at any moment, if they find out that you're there, they're going to come in and kill everybody. Like, what are you doing?
I was surprised at how fast they found this guy too. They knew who to shoot. They just started boom, 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 boom. They sniped everyone, but they left the one dude. I was like, oh, that
This one
convenient,
dude
or-
gets to survive, and he just so jackpot.
He's the dude.
He's
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah, he said
He's the
jackpot
dude.
like 3 times.
She's the dude. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we're all dudes. Hey,
We're all
I'm a
dudes.
dude.
Hey, yeah.
I got the song reference.
you know,
Very nice.
mhm.
So then all of a sudden, Chase like pulls out a firework out of his gun holster and starts just blowing out a door. Like, these Navy SEALs come equipped.
I mean, you got to be ready for anything. It's war, you know?
So you think they have condoms on them too? Then they're ready for anything.
Listen, they need to. The way they're sleeping around.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, let's.
I got some feelings about what these men be doing on this show.
All right,
okay?
well, let's start breaking it. I was actually really concerned at first because I thought the whole episode was going to be like a mission style form,
Right.
and I was like, I want to see the storylines of like where these guys came from, and then thank God, right after this scene, it was all storylines like the rest of the episode. So I was like, thank God. So
Yes.
let's start talking about those storylines. We'll start with Bear, which had a nice, interesting storyline with his wife.
Well, you know, Bear's my crush, right? We talked about this last week.
Now, I was going to ask you before. So, do we want to do a weekly update on the crushes real quick?
I mean,
Is it still Bear?
It's of course.
Okay.
That's my guy.
Now, in the episode, she says to him, "My big bear." The wife says this to him in the room. What do you think she meant by that?
That was real sexy. Kudos to her for like talking about her big bear. We know what she's talking about.
We do? All right. I was confused. I wanted a woman's perspective on it.
Listen, we know what she's talking about. We're gonna keep it PG over here. But that was an interesting moment. You know, like I love the fact, I love that dynamic, that couple, the whole first time we watched the porn was at the church trip. You know, like, yes, they're these Christian,
they're high school sweethearts as well. They mentioned that
they clearly met through, I'm assuming, church, because they keep referencing the whole church thing. And I love that they are a Christian family, but they're human, and they're showing that, like, they're not perfect. And
she jerked him off in the chair at the place.
I mean, come on, they're married.
And by the way, I like Bear too, but 3-pump chump. I mean, he went so quick.
Hello, he's been backed up. He's been on a mission.
Backed up.
He's on a mission.
Yeah.
And he was on a mission to try to.
Yeah. I do love that they were all VHS tapes. That they didn't have any DVDs there. It was all VHS tapes.
Can we talk about how corny the porno was?
Right, and how old? Why was that guy so old in the porno?
So old.
But I want to meet him because I need to get some tips. Because I mean, like, I want to know how to keep it up when I'm that old.
Listen,
that's an old dude that was having sex on that tape.
I really appreciate that the wife appreciated. Like, she was like, her breasts are so big. Like, you know,
are you that type of girlfriend where you like help like your man?
We're not gonna get into what I'm into. Okay. I appreciate that the wife appreciated
other attractive women,
because I'm sure. And this is the thing. I'm not saying all men. I'm not speaking for all men. But
there we go.
But in the doctor's office, you know, when they're like, "Oh, Bear, you know, we might need to get a sample from you," and he's like, "What?
You think it took a hit on his manhood?"
I mean, ego everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, if you're in the military, you know, they already.
Yeah.
So I just think that was an interesting moment of the wife coming into the room to make him comfortable, because I'm sure that must be hard for
He was
a man.
thinking in his head, what if it's my fault we can't make a baby?
And if he's thinking that in his head, you think he's really going to be able to put stuff in the cup? You know, like, you know, that block. I mean,
maybe you should just grab some like hand soap and just said, I'm done with this, and just pretend.
I'm just glad she took one for the team.
She took one for the team?
She took one for the team. So shout outs to her.
Go wifey. I think we learned her name in this episode. I wrote it down. Lena.
Lena, hey.
And
Hey, girl.
But they didn't say her name. It just said, I just saw it in the subtitles, and it says Lena's gonna talk now, and then it said but hey, it's
There we
Lena.
go. It's
Bear's
Lena.
wife is Lena, for all you at home that we didn't know. The next character. Go on.
Wait, one more thing about Bear that's very interesting for me.
Yes.
When they're all talking about the mission, and Coddler says, "I think you want to get Bear back a little too much," and
Rip back.
yes, Rip.
Yeah.
You want to get Rip back a little too much, and the whole like notion that like, is Bear Rip Part 2? Because that whole in that room where he's like gouging out his eye, and it's like,
is he
whoa.
turning into
right? I'm like,
is he the new Rip?
Is this Rip Part 2? Like, what's going on? So that's just a little side note I was thinking about.
Is that that's something you think might happen in the future?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's turning into Rip.
All right. So the next character that had a great storyline was Coddler.
Ooh.
Who
naked. I got to see his booty. See, he almost made it to my crush list.
He's almost on your crush list?
But he's not, because he's a hoe. So
I'm going to tell you my crush later on in the episode when we get to another character.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So Coddler's there, and he immediately hits on the waitress, which is so Coddler, right? So hashtag so Coddler. And then he sleeps with her, right? That's the same woman.
Yeah. He's getting the French toast with the syrup on the side.
Oh, good.
That's what's happening.
Oh, good. All right. So, but then what's also interesting with Coddler is I was going for a run the other day.
Okay.
And I'm like, I remember watching the pilot episode. I'm like, I've seen Coddler in something before. So, and then all of a sudden it hits me. He's in one of my favorite Disney Channel original movies from when I was a kid.
Wait, really?
Can I give you 3 Disney Channel original movies, and I'm going to have you guess or tell me which one you think it is? Did you watch a lot of Disney Channel original movies growing up?
I sort of, kind of, maybe.
Okay. They none of them were in the theaters. They were just all just
okay,
right.
so then that...
Yeah. All right, I'm going to give you 3. And if you
Okay.
haven't heard of them, that's fine.
Okay.
Luck of the Irish,
Oh, no.
Brink,
Okay.
and Alley Cat Strike.
Ooh. Wow.
Which one is he? He's the star of one of those. He's the
those?
star of one of those 3 Disney Channel original movies.
Alley
Coddler.
Cat Strike.
He is. Good, great guess.
Great guess.
For all of you that don't know Alley Cat Strike, you can check it out. It's a great bowling movie, and he's the main. He's the main bowler.
guy.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And you know who's else is in that movie? Kaylee Kuko from, or I don't know how to pronounce her last name. She's from Big Bang Theory, the main girl.
Got it.
Yeah. Kaylee
So
whatever.
that's how Coddler is in your mind.
That I'm going for run. I'm thinking about Coddler.
Wait,
He's a
so
very good looking
I was
man.
gonna say, what's going on?
No, anyways, all right, let's go.
Is that
So-
your crush? Should I know something?
No, you'll hear my crush in a second. Crush in a second. So, anyways, so now we have his daughter that shows
who
up at the house.
just shows up and he's naked.
Right, which
I'm
is
like,
funny. Ha ha ha. She calls his house a shack.
Yes.
I'm looking at his house saying, I like that house.
I want to live in that house.
It was like on this like
Right on the
waterfront
marina.
property.
Come
yeah.
on.
So that was weird
We
to
don't
me that
got
she
that
would
in the
call it a
Bronx.
shack. I don't get
Listen,
it.
that's because she didn't grow up in the Bronx, so she doesn't know
She
what's
doesn't
happening.
know.
She doesn't know any better. She's entitled, which I can tell because like my prediction with
Okay.
the whole dynamic with the mom, how she's like, oh, well, I don't know, she's out, she's not around.
Yeah.
The fact that she can literally leave and the mom's not. Listen, I would have left my
Right.
house.
Why
My
doesn't the
mother
mom
would have
know?
called me 10 times by that point.
Why, if he's like trying to turn a leaf here and possibly get to know his daughter, he's like, oh, I have to leave now and go to this inauguration of Chase and like his graduation party. Like, do you really need to be there? Can't you spend some time with your daughter? If
But-
that's where he went.
But it doesn't seem like that's what he's trying to do.
Right, which is
Like,
disappointing to me.
he's totally freaked out, which makes me want to know more about that storyline. Like, when was this daughter conceived? Did the mom just leave? Did he leave? Like, why is this such an estranged relationship?
Right,
Like,
and-
I want to know more.
So what I'm hoping is that they do those behind the scene, like really
Right.
flashback story, and find out why.
Right.
It's an 8 episode miniseries.
yeah,
so
so
and
we'll
from
see.
that preview we saw
Right.
at the end,
But
it
they
looks like
are-
it's all moving forward in this show.
But they are having a way of packing so much in.
They
so
are.
you never know. They
It's
might
weird because
surprise
at the
us.
beginning of everyone, the 2 episodes I've watched so far,
Mm-hmm.
everyone too, I've been super confused. But by the end, I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So because I get nervous at first, I'm
Right.
like, oh my, I'm gonna have to rewatch this 5 times before we talk. No, by the end, I'm like, okay,
Right.
we're good to go. All right. Another main character is Buddha.
My
And he-
Latino man.
Yeah, he's got a big storyline in this episode. What did you think of? We see him get injured.
Yes. Like,
You thought it was worse than it was. I remember you freaked out when we were watching it. You're
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What's happening?
You were nervous.
Because, last week we had our predictions that someone might die. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't want it to be Buddha. Like,
Yeah.
Buddha's like my Buddha. Like, I just want to rub him and like,
All right.
So I just...
I thought it was Bear. I thought you wanted to give a big bear hug to Bear, and now
No,
it's Buddha.
Bear's my crush,
Oh.
but Buddha's like he's like the uncle that you love and you just want to hug him and you just don't want nothing bad to happen
Yeah,
to him.
and I like
That's how
he is
feel
like
about
kind of has an accent when he when he's talking and
Yeah,
stuff.
'cause-
They El Jefe.
it. Yes.
My Spanish is not so good. What do they mean by that?
The boss. El jefe.
Oh, so you're
How
saying
you don't know that?
he's not the boss.
How long have you been in Los Angeles?
Yo no
You
sé,
don't-
yo no sé. Tú eres muy bonita.
You can't be on the West
Muy bien, bien, bien.
I am bonita.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you can't be on the West Coast and not know what El Jefe means. Like,
Well, all right. El hombre means the man,
The
right?
man,
Cool, I
yes.
got one.
You got one.
I'm all right.
so I love that too. That whole dynamic of I'm the boss.
We're staying home, and then they're all
No,
like,
you're leaving. And even his buddies know the truth. Like
Yeah.
they laughed about it because it's true. Like
even
let's keep it
even the
real.
son,
women-
even the
women-
son said shotgun. Like even the son's got it
Like
on him.
come on.
We see a dynamic between him and his daughter in the episode.
Yeah, he walks in on her with the boy.
Which, come on, writers! Like you knew when she opens the door with a crack, when she
And
just
it's like,
opens the
"Don't
crack,
come
and
in."
says, I'm doing homework, and just her head peeking out. You know when that door goes the rest of the way, there's gonna be
It's gonna be
some
somebody.
boy in there.
Right.
Yeah.
She's what, 17? No, it was her
It
quinceañera.
was
She's like
15, maybe turned 16 by now, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. So I guess that's boy time.
Yeah.
The mom didn't seem too
The mom probably knows. The mom, like
Buddha needs to get in it. Buddha does not know
he's
what's going on with his
gone.
family. Yeah,
like,
he is.
And moms are usually more lenient. Like when the girl wants a boyfriend, because she understands. Like I remember, I was 16, 17. I can't stop her from having a boyfriend. Now the locked door, though, that I wouldn't play that in my house.
Yeah, what's that about?
He comes over, the door's wide open. I need to have eyes on
Did
y'all.
Buddha say to his wife the door was locked?
Yes.
And she still was. See, that's
and
when
she was super calm about it.
the
See, no,
son
no, no,
was
no.
there. Maybe that's why the son was
But
in
the
the room.
son's a little kid. Like that don't know.
No, she should have
Door
said something.
open.
Door
open.
Door open. A door ajar.
Door
Door
open.
ajar. Door
No,
ajar.
no, no,
What is
no.
it?
Straight
Wide
open.
open.
Wide open.
Windows open too.
Yes.
Closet door open.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. That's okay. Because then they could like sneak in there and shut the door. And then you
Yeah,
don't know. So
that-
I would like leave it ajar.
Listen,
Let's
these
leave it
kids
open.
got all kinds of tricks.
All right. Anything else you'd want to say about Buddha? I'm trying to look at my notes here.
Listen. I'm good. I'm good.
You're good on the Buddha. All right, let's go to Buck. Now, he has a very small scene in
Yes.
the show.
Yes.
But I like Buck. He's very muscular. He
have a-
reminds me of me. Very muscular.
Does he?
I don't know. I'm just making jokes.
Well, I have
But-
a question for you.
Okay, about Buck.
Would you spy on your wife?
Okay.
From a man's perspective, I mean, like
I'm
you're
not-
away all the time, and
If I'm away, see, I have to be in their shoes, right?
I have friends in the military, and my friends in the military always talk about that, the unfortunate
Do
thing
they?
about girlfriends and wives cheating, and then and have certain friends that are in the military that have decided they don't want to be in a relationship for
Yeah.
those kind of reasons.
All of my relationships that I've had in my life, I get into them because I 100% trust them.
Right.
If I'm even like at 80% trusting, I just won't do it because why? That's like the number one thing for me is communication and trust. As long as I have those things, I'm not
Right.
worried about the rest. So, and why was she? All right, so he got in on the computer and she's in her bra and panties.
Right.
And she looked like she was like using the computer as like a mirror almost.
I
Like,
think he put a camera, a bug in the house, and it's close to the mirror. Is what I'm
I
assuming.
thought it was because he was looking on the computer. Oh, so
He's watching
he's
from
on the
his
computer. I
computer,
thought it
but
was
he
from
bugged
her
his-
computer because you know you can look through the hole and
Right.
like it was a Skype thing or something.
But no, he bugged his own house.
Okay.
Is what he did.
So it was a mirror and she was just getting ready for
right.
work. So he literally has no proof that.
No, but he thinks she's cheating because who's she getting all
Yeah.
dressed up for?
Which brings me to my weekly crush update. It's her. Oh yeah. When I saw her, I was like, oh,
she's it.
Well, she was in a bra and panties. It was a kind of not. It's not like fair. Like, oh my god,
she's
she looked-
naked.
she's naked. Yeah, whatever. No, she looked great, and the woman didn't even speak, and I fell in love with her. So
Well, it's good to know that you're not the I Spy kind of guy. You
no,
know?
I don't think I would. No, I don't think I don't. I've never ever been in that situation, so I can't fully say no. But
Right.
no, I don't. No way.
Okay.
All
Okay, good to know.
All right. So our other main character in the show is Rip.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
he's
he's like the character.
he has the final credit.
Right, like-
And Walter Gott.
Come on.
It says his name at the end. So you're like, oh man. He's like, I don't want my name first. Put me at that and at the end. That's what I want. I want that and name and credit. He's captured the
Yeah.
entire episode.
Right.
And at first he's super doesn't want to help at all and saying like 3 words to these people. And then Esther comes along
Right.
and she tells him a little sob story but it's an honest one. She's not making it up. And so what do you think of that whole situation and how he actually wants to possibly help now?
I don't know how I feel on the way like it was even set up. You know, like how I guess it's sort of realistic to Rip that he like has no care, but at the same time, given the pilot episode, how he showed some sort of empathy from the beginning,
Yeah.
for him to then all of a sudden now in episode 2 just be so harsh with it, I didn't really like that too much.
No.
I wasn't following that. Like I was like, huh, what? I could tell that he could protest a little bit and just be a little bit like, listen, guys, this just doesn't seem too good.
Yeah,
but just,
I've been in this situation before, and this
yeah,
does not
like
end
this,
well.
this
Blah
doesn't
blah
end
blah.
well. But just the way he was like, I was like, all right, where are we going with this? But I already knew we were gonna go to the other side, which is
Yeah.
him helping, because then where else would the story go?
I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt at first, right? He's
Right.
been through a ton in the past, whatever amount. What was the flash forward to like how much time was that? 2 years
2
later
years,
or something?
2
Like
years. It's been
he's
2
been in a
years.
lot the past 2
Right.
years. He's kind of just over life in general, but he's so knowledgeable. He knows how to handle like every situation.
I mean, they're Navy SEALs.
I know,
They're
which
badass.
is nuts to me. So I like that he knew how to handle every situation, and
Right.
obviously, my prediction is that him and Miss Naomi
Are gonna let's get it on.
possibly, yes.
What do you think about him denying that he was a Navy SEAL at first? Do you think that that was strategic, or what was the? I was trying to figure out what his motive was, because he knows that they knew that he knew. Like everyone knows who he is.
I think he just is worried that if they find out, he'll automatically get killed like right away. But I don't. Then he's got like money that's gonna be. He's worth like a lot. They say in like the next episode, he's worth like $10 million.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Right.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Under over, Coddler's gonna have sex once per episode.
At least once, at the very least.
So
I
but
think
under over. So over one, because under would be 0 times.
No, definitely one or over.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're taking the over. All right.
But unless the daughter stays.
Right. Then it's.
I mean, she's cock blocking
over
all day. Like,
cock blocking all day.
She's like not letting it happen.
Yeah, you know what? I think we just saw the last of Calder sex capades. He's done.
Maybe. We
It's
don't know.
over.
We don't know what's happening with the daughter.
I'm so disappointed.
The daughter was like, she only needed 3 days to crash.
That's what she says.
That's what she says. Which I wonder why. Like, what's the deal? What's going on at home? Why are you gone? And what?
Why does she want to spend so much time with Coddler? Like, why is she not getting along with the mom? What did she say anything about that? I don't even.
And like she's never been to his house, and all of a sudden, I'ma stay with you for 3 days. Like, I don't think I'd roll up on my daddy like that.
You wouldn't roll up on your dad like that?
No, like just show up to his house like that. Like what? Especially a dad like Calder. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna find, but I guess I mean, look at her vape pen. I mean, she's just.
Yeah, the vape pen was interesting too, and he's
And
so
she's
not.
blowing it in his
Yeah,
face.
he's so not dad, and he didn't even like tell her to stop. Right? He has no authority to do any of that. Which
I
is,
mean, would you like you?
no, I mean he
You have
was
no
not
play,
with her. Yeah,
and
his
she's
whole life.
a
her whole
grown
life.
person now. Like,
Yeah.
listen, when I was 17, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah, Coddler and like Buddha could not be more like opposite when it comes to
Right.
like poor Buddha just wants to be a part of his family and he can't even get anything, and then like all of a sudden, Coddler's daughter wants to be in his life and he's like, get away. It's very interesting.
How do you feel about the writing though? Because at the very end, show him your hands.
Yeah, well, we knew like when he says that, you
saw
know
it
his
coming,
arms
right?
getting
You
cut.
saw it coming.
Of course, because you can tell this dude's been sitting behind a desk his whole life, and they're gonna say he has soft hands, he doesn't have any calluses,
Right.
blah blah blah. So you knew one of his hands. I thought they were gonna go but then I saw the knife. Then I thought instead of him chopping it off, I thought the dude because he had it held his hands,
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was gonna break his fingers.
Oh, that would have been real
But-
gory.
But for everyone at home, I'm sitting next to her and she's doing this the whole time. Because she knew it was gonna go down, but
I
you're
knew
still
it
in
was
there.
happening, but because
Those are your hands, though. You did this.
Listen.
All right, I'm listening.
I love my hands.
Who doesn't?
Okay?
Right?
And there's just something about mutilation that like, and seeing like the blood.
I'll give the special effects. They did a great job with the blood.
Yes, it was great.
At one point, you could tell it was an extension of the hand, but for the most part, I thought it looked like they had cut it right at the.
Right.
Actually, he cut it more like the fore. He got a good chunk of it
ugh.
gone right above
And
the elbow
that's
there.
why I was doing that.
I noticed.
because
Well,
I
that
was
was great.
already anticipating what I was visually gonna see, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
You weren't ready. And then so and during that scene, he drops the F-bomb. Rip.
He did.
And I wanted to talk about that with you
You were
because
like, can you say that?
I don't know. I was just, I'm just so innocent and pure. That's why I couldn't
you're
believe that they
such a
would say the
good guy.
MF word. And I guess if the airs after 10 p.m., am I just ignorant and don't understand that you can't? Because
I gotta check these FCC
I know HBO and Showtime.
regulations.
Yeah, what is? Yeah,
what are the regulations? I thought on cable you couldn't, and on HBO you could, but I don't
course,
know.
yeah.
We'll have to.
I mean, he went
some Googling.
hard on that
Oh,
word
he did. He was,
with a full, and it was pronounced so perfectly with a full thing of blood in his mouth.
full.
Full blood
Full.
in his mouth.
Bleh.
Predictions for the next week's episode. What do you think? They show them, escaping somehow, right? They escape,
Yes.
which is it
He
ripping the
goes on the
crew.
run. He's on the run.
How does he escape? What's your prediction for that?
I don't-
Right? Like, how does he get out of there?
How do you get out of that? I don't know. But one of my predictions is well, they're gonna go to the hospital. Buddha's gonna find out there's like something incredibly wrong with his knee
Oh,
to
shoot,
a
you
point
think
that
so?
he can't be part of the mission, like the second part of the mission or something, or he's not supposed to and he goes anyway, and then that causes
Right.
problems.
I think you're right. I think he'll go.
during
I
the
think he'll
mission.
find out something's wrong, but he'll go anyway.
Despite doctor's orders. He's gonna be stubborn because men can be real stubborn.
I will deny that. That's very
So that's
true.
my prediction.
That's your prediction that he's gonna just.
He's gonna just go AWOL.
It looked like it was just a bruise on his knee, though.
No, but did you see that thing? Like, it was like,
Did it look inflamed as well? Like,
it looked
looked
inflamed.
big
It was
and-
red. It was blue. It was like, ooh, what happened to your knee?
You see him limp right when he comes in the house. He's
Yes.
limping, and then he tries to get off that chair, and you think that someone cut his leg off. Like he
Yes,
was in
in pain.
Mm-hmm. And then the whole family was concerned.
Right.
Get in the car.
I mean, look, did you look at it? Like,
It was black and blue. I mean, I know I'm a wuss. I'd be in much
listen,
worse shape, but
I'd
it didn't
be the
look as
first
bad as
one
I.
to be
Yeah,
like, get in the car.
yeah, just get in there.
Just get in the car. I don't know why men have this thing with doctors. I
Yeah.
don't know what's that about, but men are always like, no, I'm good. I don't gotta go to the doctor. Like, they're
Yeah.
afraid to go get checked up.
Bear's facial hair. Did you think it was longer in this episode? And what is your preference? Yeah, because you said you really like facial hair on the facial
like
on Bear.
beard.
That was one of your main
I
reasons.
like beards.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I like the
Did it
scruff
look
on the
longer
beard.
to you in this episode?
It looked a little more scruffy. I mean,
Yeah.
he was gone for a little longer. So
Yeah. Is that like I can't grow? I personally cannot grow a beard that long. No, this
Not,
is
not
it.
everyone has that skill.
If it goes any longer, it's just too wispy and wiry.
You don't get the good grooming.
The good grooming.
good grooming.
I don't get the good thick beard. But that is your preference.
I don't listen. I don't like it too long.
Okay.
You know, some guys just go a little overboard with it. It's like no.
Like Santa Claus?
That seems like very messy.
Yeah.
And very unclean. So just a little.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to talk about Chase's graduation
Yes.
slash knighting with the dildo.
Not inauguration. I guess that's
sure
on
what-
my
well,
that's on my mind.
it's on your mind right
That's
now.
on my mind.
I
There's
wonder
a lot
why. I
going
wonder
on
why.
in the world.
Yeah, they dub him with a big pink dildo, and they whatever, and they make him drink that. What kind of glass was that? What do you call that? Like not a flask.
See, I didn't go. I went to an HBCU. So when I was
HBCU community
historically black college university.
Okay, never would have guessed
Hey, there you go. You learned something new on the show today. So when they were having the whole ceremony, that's what I was thinking. I was like, huh.
Because you were laughing a lot during that
Yeah,
scene.
because I was like, maybe this is what they do at PWI schools, which is predominantly white school institution.
Oh.
Predominantly white institution.
Okay.
That's what, when you go to a HBCU, that's what we say. So I was like, oh, maybe this is what it was like at
Right.
a PWI, where like, oh, the whole like beer kegs and stuff. I didn't
know either.
experience
I
any
wasn't
of that.
invited to parties like that.
I didn't experience that in my college experience. So when I saw the whole chug, drink, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, okay, this is like
This is how.
like the fraternity. He's getting
Yeah.
like hazed and he's getting like doctrined
And
in.
yet they're like 35, 40 years old.
But it's still a fraternity to a
And-
certain
oh,
degree.
for
They got
sure.
secret codes and they got their brotherhood things. So.
Yeah, they had look at these secret codes I wrote down. They said SSE, whatever that means, PPH, and then I started making some up. PBS, JFK, LAX, NFL.
They do
I don't
have
know.
all
I was
these
like,
codes.
how do they, all these acronyms that they're saying, that was why else I was confused at the beginning. Those acronyms, I was like, I don't know what any of these mean, and you're throwing them at me in this mission, and you're going forward and all that stuff. Any final remarks from you?
What about you? You didn't give me your predictions.
Okay, well, okay. Buddha and his family, unless Buddha passes away, which I hope doesn't happen. Unless Buddha passes away, I really think that him and his family are going to have this, like, they're going to get that connection back. And what's I think is going to happen, which is sad, they're going to get that connection back, and then, like, the next day, something goes down. Coddler and his daughter, they're gonna start getting along better and stuff. I think in the next episode she's gonna like walk in on him doing something because she's just gonna walk in the house. She's not gonna give her a key.
Right.
She's just gonna walk in the house.
Right.
And not even just walk indoors and just ignore certain sounds from rooms and just pretend she owns the place. Hopefully we find out why the heck her and her mom aren't getting along. Buck. I really want them. I hope that they talk more about Buck's storyline
Right.
with his wife.
Yes.
And I think
'cause
that
that's
she's
your
cheating.
crush.
Well, you know.
You want to see more of her?
Well, you know, I just see so much of myself in Buck that clearly that's the type of woman I would get. So,
Got
yeah.
it, got it.
And so I'm hoping that they like, almost like they introduce a new character there very briefly. I mean, we knew about Buck before,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't know anything about him. He stood in the back and said like, "Yes, sir," and blah blah blah. Now we know that he's concerned about his wife, so that's going to come up in a later episode. So I'm excited
We're
about
gonna
that.
find out about Bear's semen.
Oh, and if it's good or not.
Yep.
That's your prediction.
Yep, we're gonna know
Alright,
if he got the goods or not.
They'll announce the exact sperm count, you think?
I don't know. We'll see.
All right, I hope so. Well, it's been great talking with you guys tonight.
Awesome.
If you guys want to follow me, you are more than welcome to at the Dan Lindgren.
And buzz me at Selly Hangout, and make sure you come back next week.
Yeah, check us out next week. Thanks, guys. Why are we getting on?
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.